Well, it's early afternoon, and I'm in Ruby by myself, headed to town to run a few errands, including Walmart. Just gonna get out for a little bit. Johnny is happily playing Minecraft with some friends, and Dawn is happily watching YouTubes. We watch the ones we usually watch together, and now he's moved on to some deeper things. And I'm just gonna go for a ride in my car for a bit. Yeah, I like being out in the Tesla. It's always fun. It's a pleasant, albeit hot day out here. It's not horrible out here today, but I'll certainly be glad to go AC to AC. And Ruby's all nice and cool in there just waiting for me. I tell you what, the news surrounding Tesla today, it's just, those shorts, they just won't give up. I mean, I saw our Echo Show had a Tesla isn't doing good article as front news on the screen today, and it's all over the Facebook groups, and you know, they're talking about cancellations, and they're talking about Tesla now can make as many cars as they need, but they don't have anybody that wants them. I mean, really, come on now. This is just, those shorter people, they're desperate. They're just desperate. It's not right. It's just really not right. They quote numbers, or they make it sound like they have official numbers and they don't, and it's gut-wrenching. I sort of just need to step away because it gets me so worked up. Seriously, I have made the decision that I just will not click. The only articles I click on pretty much are Electrek. I think they do a fair coverage. You know, they speak their mind, positive or negative. I think it's usually fair. If they want to read an article and interpret it for others, that's okay with me. But I am not clicking on Clean Technica or CNBC, or I don't care if it's a valid major news outlet or a little thing. I'm just not gonna give them the click. I won't do it. Don't do it. Don't give them the clicks. If they don't get the clicks, they don't write the articles. You know, you kind of either, you got to know and where things stand. You don't need those articles to tell you. You know, Zach and Jesse over at Now You Know, they do a really good job of reading the news and interpreting it. I feel comfortable with their interpretations most of the time as well. So again, I'd rather let somebody else do it for all of us, and then us just pay attention to them, than all of us individually clicking just to see what the article said, even though we know it's not true, because that just gives them what they wanted, and I'm not participating. Sorry to have to call you out, but there's a ton of stuff. Mail, Amazon Prime boxes, cat litter, stuff from Walmart. I hollered for Johnny too, but he might not have heard me. Johnny gets my Hangout messages, except if he's in full screen. So, I came in fussing quite heavily about the Tesla hate news today.
Right,
which I already complained to you guys about while I was driving.
She did.
It looks like it's two similar stories coming out of CNN. One is that 24% of Model 3 reservation holders are canceling their reservation, and the other, from a slightly different slant, is Tesla is finally making enough cars it just can't sell them. That's sort of what I had said before.
Right.
Don had a few thoughts.
Yeah. Well,
trying to calm me. Well, I mean, first off, I don't believe it. And second off, trying to calm me down because I'm pretty hot about it.
Well, about the cancellations, you know, there's, if you say, oh, well, there's 24% of the people have canceled, or 25% of the people have canceled as of some window, let's say July of 2018. Well, that means that 75% of the people haven't canceled. And if you haven't canceled already, after all the bad news, that the
2-year wait,
the 2-year wait, then I would probably say that you're probably going to take delivery, because if you really had to have the short range battery, you required the $35,000 car, and you required the $7,500 tax rebate, then you canceled, because those are it's the news. Elon has been clear. that just isn't going to happen. You're not going to get a $35,000 car and the $7,500 tax rebate. So certainly that could be some people's justification for canceling. So yeah, but the other point that proves is then if you haven't come up with a reason to cancel, and one or 3 out of 4 people haven't, then that probably means you're going to take delivery.
Right. Well, on Facebook, what they were saying is a lot of the people that cancel say, yeah, I admit I canceled, but I went and I got an S or an X.
Right. You could almost put us in that.
You could almost, right, because we were not going to get the X. We were just going to get the 3 and wait until it was ready. And then we got an X, and now we're getting a 3, so we're getting 2 Teslas instead of 1.
Right. Because I had shared in earlier videos, I was sort of on the fence. You know, I was pretty sure we would get one, but I wasn't absolutely sure. So, you know, we sort of come full circle on that. And we're getting the Model 3, and you know, I scratched my head and said maybe we should get the Y, but you know, at this point we're just going to go on and get the Model 3. I think it will be fine. The other thing I'd like to point out is, you know, the article, there was another CNN article that said something to the effect that, you know, well, that's great that Tesla's got their production up, but nobody wants to buy the car. And I guess they're using that, they're using the
fact that they let the car sit around for a few weeks waiting for the end of June so they wouldn't go over 200,000 against them.
I assume that's what they're using. I didn't read the article. I
ain't clicking on it.
I don't click on those kind of articles. But I guess my point was with that, I absolutely believe Tesla was building cars in late June that it had no intent, that had no signed, reserved, or any. They were just building the cars because they had production. Because I do believe it is possible that a lot of people, and we're talking prior to the end of June, that last week, let's talk, you know, like the 21st of June, in that time frame, getting ready to maximize production, they said it's more important that we just build cars, even if we may not have a firm order delivery for that car. We need to build the car because we can't deliver it because we go over the 200,000 limit. I mean, my God, what would the shorts have said if Tesla would have went over the 200,000 limit on June 25th? Can you imagine the field day they would have with that? So Tesla said, well, look, we've said from day one, I mean, Elon on way back on March 31st on the announcement for the Model 3 said or shortly after the tweets after that announcement, he said, look, we're willing to take a ding on a quarterly report to do right by our customers. So I totally believe that he built cars in June that he didn't have a firm delivery for the first or second week of July. He just went on and built. So I do believe today, if you go online and you order a rear-wheel drive car, black interior, it's very possible that car has already been built and they're going to just redirect one from some lot to you.
Right, well
that's fair. But that's fair. But the point is, that's not going to last forever. I mean, that's probably for this month and maybe next month, and who knows, maybe even into September. But I expect this backlog of rear-wheel drive only, black interior, the finite colors, because, you know, what's going to happen is they're going to get orders. People are going to go online and reserve a car, order a car, and they're going to want a red one. Well, we got no red ones, so they're going to have to build red ones. Rear-wheel drive with black interior red ones, or blue ones, or midnight blues. There may be I'm just picking the silver is apparently supposed to be the really least popular. There may be a glut, and there may still be silver ones, rear-wheel drive, black interior, laying around in September that they built last week of June. It's possible. I'm not saying it is, but it's possible. But certainly those cars aren't going to go to waste. They will be sold before the end of the year. Tesla is just, at this point, trying to build, or will be building, all-wheel drive and performance. That's what they're going to be cranking out. They're probably not going to be building any rear-wheel drive. If they've got one on the lot somewhere, they're going to ship it. Now, that might change when the white interior comes out. In fact, that's probably the first thing you'll see. The next thing you'll see is you're going to be able to order an all-wheel drive with the white interior, because that's what Elon said. That he said, don't know, but when it comes, you know, we're going to make it available white interior to the people who buy the Performance, but the all-wheel drive will get it. Just don't know when that's going to be. But you know, based on how the orders are coming in, basis their production and stuff, they'll just make the white interior available. And then there's a whole nother group of people who haven't ordered, who wanted all-wheel drive and white interior, and that'll get another batch.
Right,
so
another group of
that's
people.
what's going to happen. That's how this is going to play out. I guess what I'm saying is that 5,000 a week are going to be built, and they will all get sold between now and the end of the year at that 5,000, maybe 6,000 sustained rate. I mean, that would be my goal for Tesla, was to have at least a sustained rate of 5,000 a week for the 26 weeks. So, you know, 5 times 26 is, you know, like 130,000 cars built and sold and delivered between now and the year. And if they do, the shorts they're done. They're going to lose their shirt if that happens. And I see no reason why that's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, just a couple of points to add to what you said was there's a lot of reports that I'm reading about people going in and putting in an order for a rear-wheel drive car, and it tells them 3 months, and then in a week or 2 weeks they have their car because they were out there made and waiting. And so it's making that subset of customers typically pretty happy as long as they've got their financing and they're ready to go.
Right.
But there have been some folks that were pleasantly surprised that they got their Tesla early. Also, those reports out there aren't taking into account that they opened up ordering for, you know, these certain configurations to anybody now.
Anybody.
So there's new orders coming in. So even if a few got canceled, or
there's no more reservations,
or better yet, they chose to go get a different Tesla, a S or an X. There's also new orders coming in that they hadn't taken into consideration. So
there's no reservations, and you know, I guess push comes to shove, if the all-wheel drive and the Performance and the interior, then maybe that's good news for a handful of people. Maybe in December they start building the $35,000 car. But we just saw from Monroe and Associates this week a piece that Monroe felt that the $35,000 car is still going to come in at approximately 18% profit margin. So yeah, that's not as good as the well over 30% the all-wheel drive, and I imagine the Performance is probably even better than that. The 30, I think it was like 35% profit was on the rear-wheel drive premium interior, basically the $48,000 or $49,000 car. He said that Tesla's making over 30% on that car. So you can bet the all-wheel drive they're making over 30%, and certainly the Performance they're making probably over 40%. So they're making plenty of money on those cars, and 18% is nothing to sneeze at. So I think that, like I said, I think Tesla's goal is to build 130,000 cars in the 26 weeks between July 1st and December 31st, and get those things delivered.
So the Amazon Prime boxes that came this week from our Prime Day orders, they had these new more than a box. Thanks for your help, Midnight. They had these new more than a box drawings on them, implying that, you know, you and your kids can cut out airplanes and have fun. There's even a little bit more on the other side. That's pretty cool. Johnny and I are headed out to Taekwondo class. I really wanted to take class. I pulled my hair back. I was going to get dressed. And then I thought, you know, I'm just been hurting all day today, and it's just not the right thing to do. So I'm sorry, buddy. I really wanted to take class with you.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'll get you dropped off. Look at that amazing spider web. Wow. You do good for me, buddy.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too.
Well, I drove around for a few minutes, but I wasn't very comfortable. So I'm gonna go in and watch Johnny for a few. Probably stand though, because sitting in there is not comfortable. I thought this license plate was interesting on the Mustang. Master Kim is killing them right now. Absolutely killing them.
Go, go! I want to see your best effort. Yes, keep on, keep on.
Another low mileage day at 24 miles.